Today, I'm taking you through a complete salvage yard robbery in GTA Online, starting with the preparation work and finishing with the target vehicle safely delivered. The exact objectives can change depending on which robbery and vehicle you select, but the overall process normally follows the same structure. Everything begins inside your salvage yard. Head over to the planning wall and choose one of the available target vehicles. Before committing, check the estimated value, the robbery type, and the setup missions attached to it. Once the robbery is selected, the first job is usually gathering information on the target. In this case, we're heading to the location where the vehicle is being stored and photographing the important security details. Follow the mission marker, approach the area, and avoid drawing unnecessary attention. You will normally need photographs of the target vehicle, entry points, security equipment, or anything else that could affect the final robbery. Follow the mission marker, approach the area, and avoid drawing unnecessary attention. You will normally need photographs of the target vehicle, entry points, security equipment, or anything else that could affect the final robbery. Make sure each required photograph is correctly framed before sending it. Once the image has been sent, move on to the next marked objective. After completing the scope out, return to the salvage yard and check the planning wall again. The main robbery will remain locked until the required preparation missions have been completed. These preparation missions usually involve collecting specialist equipment, obtaining access information, arranging a getaway method, or disabling part of the location's security. Complete them one at a time and pay attention to the mission instructions, because the equipment collected during these setups will be used during the final robbery. Some optional tasks may also appear. They are not always essential, but completing them can make the finale easier by reducing enemy resistance, improving access, or giving you additional equipment. Once every mandatory preparation task has been completed, the finale becomes available from the planning wall. For the second photograph, follow the road around the building and keep close to the casino perimeter. The next location is positioned along the side, so there is no need to travel far or leave the area. As we approach the marker, slow down and look toward the casino building. We need a clear view of the required area before opening the in-game phone camera. Once the correct subject is visible, bring up the phone, select the camera, and carefully frame the photograph. Make sure the important part of the casino is clearly inside the shot, otherwise the game may not recognize it. We're now inside the casino, and the next objective is to photograph the vehicle displayed on the podium. Make your way across the main casino floor and head toward the central display area. The podium car is in plain sight once you enter the open section of the casino. When you reach the display, stop far enough back to capture the complete vehicle rather than standing directly beside it. Open your phone, select the camera, and frame the podium car clearly in the center of the image. Try to include the whole vehicle, including the front, rear, and surrounding podium area. Once the framing looks right, take the photograph and select the option to send it. Wait for the mission objective to update before moving away. That confirmation tells us the podium vehicle image has been accepted and added to the robbery planning information. With this photograph completed, you can now leave the casino floor and continue to the next part of the scope out.
Okay, for real? Plenty of these to chew on after that little photo shoot. You think after all this time I spent in that... What's your problem, man? Useless piece of shit! You can't be here. What do you think you're doing?
We're now inside the sewer facility, and the objective here is to turn the release valves. Follow the yellow mission markers through the pipe network and look for the large red valves positioned on the raised platforms. Once you reach a valve, move directly in front of it and use the interaction prompt to start turning it. Keep holding the control until the animation finishes and the valve has been fully opened. Each completed valve releases more sewage into the system, and you can track the progress using the contamination meter at the bottom right of the screen. As soon as one valve is complete, check the mini-map for the next marker and move through the walkways toward it. The layout can be slightly confusing because several pipes and platforms look similar, so use the green objective arrows in the mini-map rather than trying to navigate from memory. There may also be enemies positioned around the facility. Clear anyone directly blocking the route, but keep the valves as the main priority. We've reached the next release point now. Interact with the valve again and wait until the full turning sequence is complete. You should see the contamination bar increase after every successful release. Continue moving from valve to valve until the contamination level reaches the required amount. Once the final valve has been opened, wait for the objective to update before leaving the platform. That completes this part of the preparation, and the sewage system is now ready for the next stage of the robbery. Don't make the same mistake as I did and take the wrong van. It did take a little figuring out at the start until I realized. But I suppose that could have been a video of how not to do it. We're now moving into the next planning mission, which is Disrupt Personnel. The purpose of this setup is to weaken the security team before the final robbery begins. Once the mission starts, follow the route on the minimap and head toward the first marked location. During this section, the game will direct us toward personnel connected to the casino operation. The main objective is to disrupt as many of them as possible before the mission ends. As we approach the area, keep an eye on the minimap for red enemy markers and any highlighted targets. There is no need to remain in one position for too long. Clear the enemies directly blocking the objective, then continue moving toward the next marker. Using a fast vehicle makes this section much easier because the targets can be spread across different parts of the map. If a wanted level appears, do not allow the police pursuit to slow the mission down more than necessary. Break line of sight where possible, use side roads, and keep moving toward the next objective. The more personnel we successfully disrupt here, the less resistance we should face during the main robbery. That means fewer guards or weaker opposition when we return to collect the podium vehicle. Keep checking the progress shown on screen so you know how much of the disruption work has been completed. If several targets appear close together, deal with the nearest one first and then move directly to the next without stopping for unnecessary combat. We're now continuing through the remaining marked locations and reducing the casino's available security before the finale. Once the required disruption has been completed, wait for the mission objective to update. That finishes the Disrupt Personnel planning work and brings us one step closer to launching the actual robbery. Some objectives are easier when approached quietly, while others immediately become combat missions as soon as you are detected. If stealth is available, keep an eye on enemy vision cones and avoid running directly past guards. Move slowly, use walls and parked vehicles for cover, and wait for patrols to turn away before crossing exposed areas. If the alarm is triggered, the mission is not necessarily failed. It normally means the remaining objective must be completed while dealing with additional resistance. At that point, switch to a controlled combat approach and clear only the enemies preventing access to the item. Once the access equipment has been found, leave the area and follow the route back. Keep checking the minimap, because enemy vehicles can appear from side streets and attempt to block the road. A useful technique is to avoid following the navigation line too rigidly. The fastest marked route often uses major roads where enemies can easily surround you. Cutting through smaller streets, alleys, or open ground can reduce the number of direct encounters. After delivering the second preparation item, return to the planning wall and review what remains. The robbery finale will stay unavailable until every mandatory task has been completed. This is also a good point to refill armor and snacks. Doing that between missions is much easier than entering the finale underprepared and discovering there is no convenient opportunity to restock. The next setup generally involves either specialist equipment or a vehicle connected to the robbery. Follow the mission marker again and use a fast personal vehicle to reduce the travel time. When arriving, do not park directly in the middle of the combat area. Leave your vehicle facing toward the exit so it is ready for a quick departure. This small detail can save time once the objective is collected and enemies begin closing in. Clear a path toward the marked item rather than trying to eliminate every enemy on the map. GTA Online will often continue spawning reinforcements, so remaining in one place for too long can make the mission more difficult without providing any real advantage. Collect the equipment, return to your vehicle, and leave immediately. Use snacks while driving if your health becomes low, and equip body armor through the interaction menu when it is safe to do so. If police are involved, break line of sight before trying to hide. Driving directly to the salvage yard while still being actively pursued can prevent the delivery.
All cool? Yo, we good. We good, right?
If you look on the map, you will notice one of the possible collection points for the green duffel bags that can appear during the preparation work. When these bag icons appear on the map, players can choose which location to visit based on whichever one is closest or easiest to reach. Once you arrive at the marked area, check the minimap carefully and search around the immediate location for the bag. The marker may only guide you into the general search area, so look around entrances, parked vehicles, nearby structures, and any accessible upper or lower levels. I've come across some similar prep items in some real strange places. As soon as the green duffel bag is visible, move over to it and use the interaction prompt to collect it. After the bag has been picked up, the objective should update and the next destination will appear on the map. At that point, leave the area and follow the route toward the required delivery point or the next preparation objective. These collection locations can vary, so your route may look different from the one shown here on my map. The important part is to follow whichever green bag marker appears in your session. Once the equipment has been secured and delivered, this part of the preparation work will be complete, and we can continue with the remaining setup missions. Once the robbery has been selected and the initial information has been collected, you can move into the main preparation stage. Preparation of the robbery usually takes up most of the overall playthrough. Each setup gives us something needed for the finale, so even when a mission looks simple, it is still contributing to the final objective. For the first preparation task, follow the marker shown on the map and travel to the mission location. There is no need to rush immediately. It is usually better to arrive with armor, snacks, and a reliable vehicle, especially if the mission sends enemies after you once the equipment has been collected. As we approach the location, check the minimap for hostile markers and look for the safest route into the area. Charging straight through the front entrance can work, but it often creates more resistance than necessary. Using nearby cover makes the opening section much easier. Take out any enemies blocking the objective and keep moving between solid pieces of cover. Avoid standing in the open while reloading. because the enemies in these setup missions can quickly remove your armor when several of them are firing at once.
Guess who I was sitting next to?
We're now heading into the casino toilets for the next part of the preparation. The objective is somewhere inside this area, so follow the marker and move toward the highlighted position. Depending on the mission prompt, this is where we either collect the required item or place the equipment needed for the robbery. And before we do that, what has happened in here? That toilet definitely deserves the stinky gesture. I don't even want to know how long it has been left like that. Also, has anyone else noticed that there are women walking around in these toilets, even though there are urinals lined up along the wall? Apparently, the Diamond Casino has decided one restroom fits everyone. Very modern. Although, perhaps they could have invested some of the casino money into cleaning it first. Anyway, objective done, now leaving the toilets. Once the item has been collected or placed, the mission instructions should update and direct us toward the next stage of the preparation. That is this glamorous part of the casino setup completed. Let's get out of here before the smell follows us. With all of the required preparation work complete, we can now launch the robbery finale from the planning wall. Before leaving the salvage yard, take a moment to check the objectives shown at the bottom of the screen. The route, entry method, and security conditions can vary between robberies, so the mission instructions should always take priority.
All right, here we go. Time to put it all on red, boss.
We're now back at the salvage yard, and all of the required preparation work has been completed. The planning board is now giving us the option to start the robbery, which means everything we collected, photographed, and disrupted is about to be used in the finale. Before selecting it, this is the last chance to make sure the character is fully prepared. Check your body armor, refill your snacks, and make sure your ammunition is stocked, because once the robbery begins, the mission moves into the main action. It is also worth checking the approach shown on the planning screen so you know exactly where the game is sending you first. Once everything is ready, select Start Robbery and confirm the mission. From this point onward, the objective is to enter the casino operation, reach the podium vehicle, and recover it without taking unnecessary damage. The setup work should make the next section easier, but we still need to stay alert, follow the mission prompts, and keep the vehicle protected during the escape. Everything is ready now, so let's launch the robbery and go after the target car. Let's do this. It's part of the finale, so it is a good opportunity to check your armor, confirm that your health is full, and select the weapon you want ready when you arrive. As we get closer, avoid driving directly into the center of the marked area without first checking the surroundings. Some finales allow a controlled entry using equipment collected during the setup missions, while others place you into combat almost immediately. Follow the marked approach and use the access method prepared earlier. This might be a disguise, a keycard, a specialist tool, or a particular vehicle. The preparation missions are what allow us to move through this stage without starting completely from scratch. Once inside the restricted area, keep an eye on the minimap and the objective text. The game will normally guide us toward a specific door, control point, or security system that must be dealt with before the target vehicle becomes accessible. Move carefully through the area and avoid sprinting blindly around corners. Enemies are often positioned behind cover, on upper walkways, or inside adjoining rooms. Taking a second to check each angle can prevent unnecessary damage. If stealth is still active, remain patient. Let guards move away from doorways, stay outside their vision cones, and avoid using unsuppressed weapons unless the mission has already become hostile. If the alarm has been triggered, switch to a more direct approach. Use solid cover, aim for accurate shots, and avoid remaining in the same position while enemies surround you. There is no advantage in rushing through a doorway while several enemies are aiming toward it. Clear the nearest threats first, recover health if needed, and then advance toward the objective. At this point, the mission may require us to disable security, collect access information, or interact with equipment inside the building. Follow the prompt carefully and make sure the interaction completes before moving away. Some of these actions leave the character exposed for a few seconds. Clear nearby enemies before starting the interaction, rather than trying to complete it while taking heavy fire. Once the first security stage is complete, continue deeper into the location.
Okay, those disguises are officially useless up here away from the mess, so the guards will be onto you. You're looking for the service room, okay? Deal with any confrontation or hide from it. I never judge someone's choices in the casino.
Once the immediate area is clear, locate the marked equipment or mission item. The objective will normally appear clearly on the minimap when you are close enough. Pick it up, enter the required vehicle if one is provided, and prepare for additional enemies to arrive. The escape is often more difficult than the approach. Reinforcements may appear behind you, police attention may be triggered, or enemy vehicles may begin following you back toward the salvage yard. Do not stop to fight every vehicle unless the mission requires it. Maintaining speed and using side roads is normally the faster option. If the vehicle begins taking heavy damage, avoid unnecessary collisions and concentrate on reaching the delivery marker. We've now reached the elevator. Move directly toward the marked control point and start the interaction shown on screen. Once we're in, stay focused on the prompt and complete each input carefully. Rushing this section can cause mistakes and slow the mission down. The elevator is our route deeper into the restricted part of the casino, so this access point has to be opened before we can continue toward the target vehicle. Keep an eye on the mini-map in case additional security starts moving toward this position. If enemies appear, clear the immediate area first, then return to the elevator and continue the break-in. The resistance usually increases as we move closer to the vehicle. We can now head down and continue the robbery. The mask is on, and we're now moving through the restricted section of the casino toward the target vehicle. From this point, keep following the mission route and stay focused on the objective marker. The quickest option is usually to keep moving rather than stopping in every room for unnecessary fights. Security is now fully aware that something is happening, so expect more guards as we move deeper into the building. Use the walls, pillars, and doorways as cover whenever the route becomes exposed. Clear the enemies directly blocking the path, reload while protected, and then continue forward. Try not to lose too much armor during this section. We still need to drive the target vehicle out of the casino, and going into the escape with full health makes a significant difference. Keep checking the minimap as you move. Enemies can appear from side corridors or behind the player, especially after passing through security doors and narrow connecting areas. The objective is not to clear the entire casino. We only need to create a safe route toward the car, so remain mobile and avoid being pulled into a long firefight away from the marker. We're getting closer now. Continue through the marked doors and follow the route toward the display area. As the target comes into view, take a moment to clear any guards positioned close to the vehicle.
You find the car? Then start moving! Go, go, go! The guards won't waste any time locking down the loading bay, but you know how to hack and shit, right? Right? Because there's a surveillance room nearby with a computer. I bet they could unlock the doors.
Complete any remaining security objectives shown on screen. This could involve opening a gate, finding keys, operating a control panel, or removing another obstacle connected to the vehicle. Keep the route back toward the exit in mind. Once the vehicle is taken, the mission usually becomes more aggressive, and knowing where the exit is can prevent wasted time driving around the compound. We've made it through the final door, and the target vehicle is now out on the streets. This is the last major section of the robbery, but it is also where the car can take the most damage. So the priority now is getting away cleanly and protecting its value. As soon as we leave the casino, the pursuit begins. Keep moving and avoid stopping in the open, because security and police vehicles can quickly surround the car if we lose momentum. The navigation route will point us toward the next objective, but do not feel forced to follow every turn exactly. Busy roads and tight junctions can make the marked route more dangerous than using a nearby side street. The car is fast, but speed alone is not enough. Try to drive smoothly, brake before sharp corners, and avoid hitting traffic or roadside barriers. Every unnecessary collision can reduce the condition of the vehicle before it reaches the delivery point. Keep checking the minimap for police vehicles approaching from ahead. When possible, change direction before they create a roadblock, rather than trying to force the car directly through it. If the wanted level is still active, the next step is to break line of sight. Use tunnels, underground roads, multi-story car parks, or quieter areas away from the main streets. Once the wanted stars begin flashing, stay out of sight and avoid driving back toward the police search cones. Remaining hidden for a little longer is usually faster than restarting the chase. The most important thing here is patience. Driving at full speed through every corner might look quicker, but one major crash can cost more time and cause far more damage than slowing down for a few seconds. We've now created some distance from the casino. Keep the car moving, watch the road ahead, and continue toward the marked destination. If enemy vehicles are still following, do not stop for a prolonged fight. Use the acceleration of the target car, take wider routes, and allow the distance between the vehicles to increase naturally. The pursuit is beginning to settle down now. Once the wanted level has been completely removed, the route to the delivery point becomes much safer. This is a good moment to check the condition of the car. The cleaner the vehicle arrives, the better the final result should be, so avoid taking risks during the final stretch. We are now heading back across the city with the target secured. As you can see, I had to steal a police car, just so that I could maintain the condition of the car. Wait till you see what I had to do in a second, though. You can choose to do this your own way, and in your own style. But let me know if you've completed this mission yet. Everything completed during the preparation missions led to this point. The photographs, the contamination work, the disruption mission, and the equipment collected from the different locations. Without those preparations, reaching the vehicle and escaping the casino would have been considerably more difficult. As we approach the destination, reduce speed slightly and follow the marker carefully. There is no reason to damage the car during the final few seconds after successfully completing the difficult part of the robbery. Drive into the highlighted delivery area and wait for the mission to register the vehicle. And that is the complete salvage yard robbery process, from the first casino photographs and preparation work, all the way through to stealing the podium vehicle and delivering it safely. Some of the exact locations and objectives may change, but the overall structure remains very similar. Gather the information, complete the required setups, weaken the opposition, launch the robbery, and protect the vehicle during the escape. The biggest tip is not to rush the preparation missions. Completing them properly makes the finale smoother and gives you a much better chance of bringing the target back with minimal damage. If this walkthrough helped you understand the full process, follow the channel for more GTA Online missions, robbery guides, and GTA 6 preparation content. The vehicle is securing, the robbery is complete, and that brings this full playthrough to an end.